Okay, what do we have here today? Today I will be doing a 2,000 miles in review of a Santacruz Stigmata. So like I said, I've had it for 2,000 miles now. Bought it in April of last year, 2015, and been using it for everything from commuting to road riding to, well, it's just my daily bike, I guess you could say. I've ridden it all over the place, mainly commuting to and from work. It's probably about 1,800 of the miles, maybe a little less than that actually, a little less than that, probably about 1,500 miles. And other than that, it's been a couple 50-mile rides, quite a few 30 and 25-mile rides. Taken it to 2 mountain bike parks in the area as well, threw on some different tires for that. Basically, I just want to give you a rundown what has been good, what has not been good, what things I might want changed, and go from there. So, the good thing is, the bike's good. This is the CC model frame, not the C. 2015 did not make a C model frame. So, all you might see, I have Rival Grupo on here, but it is a CC frame. You can see it right up here if I show you later. Other than that, things I have changed. I have only changed the saddle, the bar tape, and the tires. Literally that's it. I have had to change a chain due to wear, but I literally put on the exact same chain that came on the bike again. I have tried a different stem length, went shorter at first, went longer. I'll probably actually go a little bit shorter and lower here in the future. It's just personal preference there. But it is the Rival Hydro Grupo 2x11, 22. In the near future, I'll probably actually go to a slightly wider range cassette. Use the Y-Fly setup for the 1132 versus the 1128 it came with, and a full set of road chain rings versus the Santacruz set that it comes with. That's mainly just personal preference, using more as a road bike than I am as a Santacruz or mountain bike. But I use it as a wide tire road bike, and I do some gravel rides and whatnot on it as well. So, issues I've had. The wheels suck, and actually more so I want to say the rims suck. Sorry WTB, I love you on my mountain bike, but these I-19 Axiom rims are like Swiss cheese. I'll actually be replacing them with the I-19 CX, which are basically the frequency I-19 teams of the mountain bike world. Just a slightly different hole count available, and they look a little different, but they're essentially the exact same rim. I have actually had a spokes break. I've had the rear wheel come out of true a number of times. Let me show you something else that's happened, which is even worse than either of those. But if you can see here, I have had a the rim fail on me. It's kind of not showing up very well, but you can see right here, right in the center of the frame, where that spoke has actually pulled right through the rim, which is no bueno, as we all know. So I'll actually be rebuilding these hubs. I had actually planned on waiting until the dead of winter to actually build up a nice set of carbon wheels for it, but can't do that now because the rim has not held up very well. That's actually really the only major complaint I've had, and Santacruz really should rectify that by going to a different rim. I really do feel. The other thing is, more of my weight. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'5", 260, 270-ish. 28 spokes just doesn't really jive with me very well, which is what both these wheels are. But most riders, around the 200 or less range should have no problem with 28 spokes, but they probably will have issues with the rims. Like I said, I only have 2,000 miles in. A rim should not fail in 2,000 miles, especially not having a full-on spoke pull through like that unexpectedly. There's no cracking or anything evident anywhere on the rim. I had actually just replaced a spoke right next to it, 3 spokes down, and I had not seen any issues with any of the spokes when I was truing the wheel back up. Cool, nifty features. Well, rundown first. It's a 100 by 15 in the front, 142 by 12 in the back, kind of standard mountain bike wheel setup. That way, it's a full Rival Hydro. Comes with Zip Service Course SL, or not SL, it comes with the SL seat post, but it has a service course and Service Core 70 handlebars. It was actually nice to see good cockpit components on here. It came with a WTB Silverado saddle. It just did not jive with me, so I put my Pure V on there that I had from my previous bike. It comes with 160mm brakes versus 140, which is greatly appreciated by people who are either going to be off-road or larger guys who are going to be putting a lot more stress into the brakes than the average rider would, even on the road. It is 40C compliant in the rear, but 40 is literally the limit. It better measure out to 40mm or less. I have had a tire that's slightly over 40C, and I have had a little bit of rubber issue. The front, you could fit something huge on there, probably close to 50, maybe even larger than that. I have seen someone report that a 1.9mm full-blown mountain bike tire fits very well in there, which is nice for people who want to get more into the gravel, cross stuff, or more using it as a utilitarian off-road bike as well. Cool little things that Santacruz did to make this bike easier to work on. Up here, you have the connectima jigs from SRAM, which allows you to route the hydraulic brake cables through the fork, because it actually goes into the leg and out the leg, and then through the frame. So it's actually relatively easy to work on for an internal cable bike with hydraulic brakes. Things they did not do is the port for the front derailleur cable where it comes out of the frame is actually probably about a 5mm, 1/4 inch in diameter, depending on where you're from, and it's perfectly placed to have mud shoved down into it unless it's sealed up. Luckily, a brake noodle fits into the hole perfectly. A brake noodle cover, I should say, one of the little rubber gaskets fits in there perfectly, so you can actually run your front derailleur cable through that into the frame and help stop getting mud from inside the frame. They have a little source port in the bottom here to help make the internal cable routing for the shifters a little easier, but still an internal cable bike is still a pain in the butt, especially coming through the chainstay and out here to the rear derailleur. It's a bit of a nightmare. Unfortunately, I don't really care so much if it's internal or not, especially if it's really easy to do. This bike is half easy to do, I would say. I've definitely worked on bikes that are easier. I've definitely worked on bikes that are significantly harder. This one falls somewhere in the middle there. Maybe if I had made a magnet and go up here and grab the cables and get them out faster, that'd be a little easier. Same thing down here. If I just found a little neodymium magnet, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, I can grab the cable and pull it through. One thing I noticed, because the seat tube is round up here and squares out real fast, while they give you the clamp for the front derailleur, which by the way is expertly machined, it is insanely well made. It does cause some issues if you want to put on something like a pump here next to your water bottle cage, or on the down tube, which you cannot do because there's not enough room. Sometimes you get them to fit on the seat tube, but you normally have to run them out backwards from the way it would normally go, which is fine, but something to think about if you're trying to use this as a commuter bike as well. It's going to be a little harder to get the utilities onto the bike that you would normally be able to throw on most other round tube bikes. Other than that, like I said, I do have 2,000 miles on it now, mainly commuting. So over the past couple of years, it's been used a lot. It's been left out in a lot of situations, which you normally would never leave a bike like this. Luckily, my work allows me to do that because it's a secure building, so no one is going to mess with it. Paint finish is held up great. It has a lock around here every day, going between here and a pole. So no complaints of paint longevity or integrity. Seems great. I see no fading, no chipping, nothing outside of what you would expect from a bike that's being kind of used and abused a little bit. So the headset's a Cane Creek 40, which is good. Nice de facto standard for headsets. It's pretty durable, pretty light, easy to get parts for. Shouldn't have too much of an issue. One unique thing is the fork has a molded in crown race, so you must use a 45-degree cup and race setup on this bike. You cannot use some other available bearings out there. So luckily, Cane Creek's not going to stop making these for a really long time. In fact, they even make a 110, which is all stainless steel cups for the bearings itself. There are no cups in the frame. You gotta make sure you get everything nice and really well made. Make sure you get everything seated properly, and not going to shift around on you, because there are no cups in the frame, there are no crown races on the fork tube that are replaceable. But it's all very well made, and as long as you do your adjustments right, you should be fine. Other than that, everything seems to be very standard. It came with a 120mm stem, which on a 60cm frame is to be expected. It came with a straight seat post, which is nice. I think the newer ones that are coming with a layback seat post, depending who you are, that may or may not be good. I would have very much hated a layback seat post because I like it a little bit shorter in top tube. I like being a little further forward on my saddle compared to my pedals. Once again, it's personal preference, but it does have a relatively long top tube. I guess it's standard top tube, but it's on the longer. It still seems long at times. Being big frame, there's no toe overlap issues. Everything is it's held up pretty well. 2,000 miles in though. I mean, I'm looking at replacing the cassette, like I said, and replacing the chain again. It is now worn out again. But yeah, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best I can. It's been a very good bike. I plan on putting thousands and thousands of more miles on it over the next couple of years. It's one of the first road bikes I've had that I've not even slightly gotten an itch to replace yet, which is unique for me. I've been known to replace lots of bikes many times. So, year and a half in, 2,000 miles in, perfectly happy with it. It's been a great bike. It's been a great year and a half. I expect to get a lot of more miles out of the frame. Hopefully I can fix these wheels up for them to work well. And I'll hopefully update you guys again in maybe another 2,000 miles or so. Thanks for chiming in for this. And if you have any questions, like I said, please leave them in the comments and I will answer them the best I can. Thanks. Bye.